Welcome back once again, everybody, to Mack9's Mines. I'm your host, Mack9. Last episode, I had some issues trying to get the video footage to render, specifically because one portion of my video actually ended up cutting out, and when I went to throw everything into Vegas, oh my god, Enderman, throw everything into Sony Vegas, it basically did some sort of media stabilization thing, which caused everything to zoom in, become super herky-jerky. I couldn't tell what was going on. But in the last episode, I was essentially finishing up the barn, which you can kind of see it over here. It's looking much better now. I threw up the fence. I corralled a bunch of animals inside, so now we should be pretty solid when it comes to having additional food on hand, having wool, pork, leather. Shouldn't be too much of an issue here on out. Then again, I still always have wheat to fall back on over here. I kind of ventured off in that direction toward the jungle over there. I ended up finding a lot of red flowers, and seriously like 5 or 6 patches of them. Easily had enough to make red dye, to make the red wool, to go ahead and fill in the top portion of the barn here. I did basically the same pattern on each side, so it's got a big red X on there. Or a white X rather, on a red background. Still haven't filled in with the steps. Of course, I'm still waiting on that to hit in with the next available update. And yeah, my own little farm. Oh, and I made one of the sheep red. I figured that would be a nice testament that I can continue to get red sheep, just because I was a little unwary for a few that I was going to be able to find any red dye, but it looks like I came out pretty well ahead. Now I actually started recording this video a little bit earlier. This is technically take 2, if you will, because my initial recording didn't actually record, so I have extra road here that I started building toward, and I was like, oh no. When I saw that my hard drive space was still basically the exact same as what it was, I was not actually recording, but I built out the road here from the first city to about this little main little pond here that's kind of between the two cities. It's kind of in the middle. I'm going to try and plan out a road coming from that way. However, I'm liking the gravel less and less, and I'm kind of concerned that I'm going to have to redo it all soon enough. But I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, I suppose. I'll probably opt to replace it all with, again, cobblestone, half slabs, stone steps, something like that to give it a little bit more flavor, but also make it a little easier to traverse so I don't have to hop perpetually just to go up a slope. I can just run right up the slope. I do have 6 wheat. I was going to make a few more pieces of bread, and I think this episode will go ahead and go back down into the mines, try and collect and explore a little bit further, find a bit more ore. I know there was a lot of iron down there. I did get a lot of coal, a copious amount of coal that I just simply didn't even bother to collect just because there was so much of it. I was like, this is good, but I don't need this much coal. Pick up the bread. Go to the bench. For those that don't know how, usually whenever I have like a stack of something, say I have like a stack of 4 here and I only want to pick up half, I right click the stack and I can easily select up to half of that particular stack. So there I just split a stack into 2 and I can do it again into 1. Otherwise, if you just left click on a stack, it's going to pick up the whole stack, but then you can also right click to place down individual units from that stack. So I could have 4 in hand, drop down 1, drop down 2, drop down 3, just like that. By left clicking and right clicking. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the wheat back in here, throw steps in here. Yeah, I'll hang on to the wood, I guess. Yeah. Gonna throw some of the cobble back in. Gonna throw all of the gravel back in, the planks. Oh my god, the planks. more gravel back in. I'm going to hang on to the sticks. I'm keeping some planks on hand, keeping some ladders on hand. Actually, it probably wouldn't hurt to have at least one stack of gravel. And for that matter, let's make another shovel while we're here, because I do know I go through shovels fairly quickly. And you know what? Another pickaxe too, because I might burn through this pickaxe going to find the goodies. Things like redstone, diamonds, anything like that. Won't need the axe. This is just replacing that. Go ahead and throw the axe back into the chest. My chest is starting to look a little full. I haven't even gotten to the farming portion that I wanted to do. It's a real shame. Let's have a look at our mushrooms. Now I actually heard by one of the people that have left comments, one of our viewers. I don't happen to have the name pulled up right now, but they I believe they said back in around episode 4-ish that the mushrooms don't grow anymore and spreading, which I don't remember placing this many down initially. I think they have spread, but it is unbelievably slow. I hear that you need a 7x7 area that's 9 tall in order to be able to plonk down a mushroom and then plonk down bone meal onto the mushroom and then gain the full towering mushroom, and you can gain more baby mushrooms from that. So maybe next time I'm topside, we'll plonk out a couple mushrooms across the landscape. Hopefully it'll be dark enough that I could do that. Throw out some bone meal and collect up a bunch of mushrooms, because mushrooms are a little bit more health for less time consumed in having to eat them as a food source, making it slightly faster. But not only that is mushroom stew. I mean, come on, mushroom stew. So, how has everyone been? I'm still trying to keep up with uploading multiple times a day. Yesterday was a little hard for me to get as much recording done as I did the first day. My fiance needed some time spent, and I was like, yeah, I'm cool with that. We could definitely do that. And so then, after a couple hours of playing Diablo 3, we eventually determined that Inferno mode was starting to get to us and stress us out beyond repair, so we stopped and had pancakes for dinner. Yes, pancakes. It is obviously the best dinner choice. But that also kind of leads me to a question. What's you guys', you, the viewers, what's your favorite thing to have for dinner that would not normally be a conventional dinner meal? I know people have spaghetti or chicken or steak or burgers or stuff like that for dinner. But there are also people that have things like pancakes or scrambled eggs or crepes or hot dogs, which, I mean, I guess hot dogs could be considered a dinner thing, but I tend to view them as more of a snack or a lunchtime thing. If you care to share your comment, what kind of stuff you guys eat for dinner, go ahead and leave that down below. Just kind of like a public opinion survey. What you guys think, what you guys do, kind of let me get to know you. And if you guys have any questions of me, be sure you also ask those down in the comment section below. I'll try and answer as many questions as possible. I've been fairly active in keeping up with any like questions or comments that people have been leaving in the comment section, because I kind of view that as important. I want to be able to keep in touch with the people that are watching my videos. I want people to know that I actually care what they think and care that they are entertained sufficiently by watching these videos. For that matter, I was also considering doing a new video series, probably starting soon. I kind of wanted to do it today, but I'm like, I don't know if I'll do it today. Mostly because I don't know the method in which I want to record it. I was planning on starting up a new file on Deus Ex Human Revolution for the PC. Now, I've played this video game and I beat it. I got all 3 endings, but then again, it kind of gives you all 3 endings because it auto-saves right before the end. Oh my god, Abandoned Mineshaft, that's awesome. This is also a chasm, which is more awesome. Alright, I have to remember where this is because I'm not ready to have more stuff to mine. I was gonna start up Human Revolution, and I'm kind of like, well, if I do it post-commentary, I have the audio programs to allow me to do that effectively. I think I can manage perfectly fine with Audacity, coupled with Sony Vegas, be able to interject statements into appropriate areas of the game, give feedback and detail as far as what kind of design processes went into making this portion of the game, what kind of content you're really experiencing, and the overarchingness of the story. However, I don't know, doing it live requires less editing. LOL. It's a lazy way out to do more work initially by doing things live and having to come up with content to say off the top of your head. Kind of like right now. I'm doing all this live, no post-commentary. Not a whole lot of editing actually required for something like this aside from color corrections, making sure that it plays properly once it's actually rendered, and making sure that it's at least somewhat entertainable. You know, people can sit here and watch this for like 20, 30 minutes, however long I forget I'm recording for, and not be completely bored out of their mind. Which actually also leads me to another point. I was actually looking to pick up or download rather than pick up, a adventure map for Minecraft. There was one that I saw recently on another channel that looked like a lot of fun. I thought they weren't doing it as much justice as it could possibly have, but you know, I'm not gonna point fingers. They do what they do. They're fairly well known for it, and I will leave them to it. However, that particular adventure map looked amazing. I gotta say I want to play it. So, would that be something you guys would be interested in seeing, like an adventure map playthrough, something that might take a good few episodes, like supposedly it's an 18-hour playthrough for that adventure map, and I'm just like, oh my god, that is a lot of commitment for an adventure map, considering that you, like most adventure maps, can't really build or place anything, you can't mine blocks, you have to basically play as you go. It's very limited in terms of what you're allowed to do, but in that regard it also makes things a little bit more of a challenge. There's more excitement to it because there's an actual possibility of you dying, and I set myself on fire. That's what I forgot to bring from upstairs, is my buckets. Oh no. I could stand to have my bucket just because I look like I'm burning out here. Okay, I stopped. Actually, I'm going to cut here for a moment. I'm going to run back up topside, grab my bucket. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I am back basically right where I was before, where I plugged up all this lava. I'm going to go ahead and remove all the dirt, see if there was anything hidden behind the lava or the dirt that I placed here, just because. So yeah, adventure map. I've only played really one adventure map, and that was the Adventure Survival Multiplex. I can link to that down in the description below. That one was challenging. That was actually a legitimately challenging adventure map. I haven't really played a whole lot of single-player adventure maps, but that one was kind of like a blend of a lot of different adventure maps. Basically, you have access to 12 different paths. It's this very complex rail system and red zone system that progressively unlocks this doorway at the end of the system, where there's notes and comments and eventually an Easter egg if you manage to complete everything, including the bonus objectives. They're ranging from various difficulties. Oh my god, it's a creeper convention. Holy poop. Poop, 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 poop. 3 poops. That turned out rather well. Hey, no, no, no. No. There we go. Is there like a creeper spawner in here? I didn't know they... The hell? Okay, okay, it's a little weird. Like 4 creepers in one hole. That's a little much. That's a little much. Right, so the Adventure Multiplex is actually it was something like a collaborative project where a bunch of different uh, multiplayer map and single player map creators uh, developed and set up these small scenarios within a limited confined area, and they were allowed to say, okay, well, you have to keep it with this theme or this theme and this theme, and and one person basically got everything to work together, put everything linked together with redstones. That way you could open one door and it would say, okay, you finished this area. Once you actually finish that area, and it was pretty challenging. Um, I don't think I'm going to record that and put that on YouTube. That required a little cheating here and there. Sad to say that a few of the maps were actually a little buggy. I don't think they were functioning properly because I went at them a few different times, a few different ways. I never could get something that was supposed to be really basic to work. Like there was a portion where you had to throw something into a water slide and it would slide down and hit a pressure plate, open a door. Well, the door didn't open when it hit the pressure plate, and I actually popped open the floor block, and the redstone that was connecting to the pressure plate was misaligned, and it wasn't functional. It was, I guess there was like a world edit or a copy or something, and it just simply didn't work properly. So, I mean, I had to get around on that one. There was other ones where I encountered similar circumstances where just something didn't decide it wanted to work. And it wasn't so much an inconvenience as it was just a, oh, this is a mild annoyance. This is something I can get around, because on the whole, the map was really well made. There's lots and lots and lots of people that could be accredited to that. More people than I know. More people than I think I could be able to actually account for in the description below. But definitely check it out. I will link to the overall Minecraft forums web page for it, so everybody can have a look at it. It's a really fun single player, offers a lot of variety. However, it gets pretty hard. I mean, there's some moments in there that are just basically hardcore edition, where you're going to die, and if you die, you basically lose your chance of being able to complete it for a bonus, or basically lose your chance of being able to complete it perfectly. I mean, I had a few times where I would die and I'd lose my fire resistant potion that I had just picked up for that stage explicitly, and all of a sudden I have to go across a field of lava. And it's like, yeah, I can't go across the field of lava because I no longer have the potion because I died before I could use the potion. But yeah, it's always fun stuff, you know. I haven't made very many maps. I usually do structures if I'm building anything. I've created a couple skyscrapers and things that looked okay, but usually whenever I'm building, I'm always building by hand, even in creative mode, which kind of sucks. I mean, creative mode is relatively creative, but if you don't have like voxel sniper or world edit or something like that, you are going to be sitting there for a while working this thing out, and it kind of blows, but at the same time, you kind of get a better appreciation for what the game is without those tools. And I've made this this one structure that I'm going to use later on. You guys will not see that for a while. But I basically built it by hand, and I got to the end of it, and I was like, I could have used World Edit for this. And I was literally just like, oh my god, just kill me now. It took me 4 days to build this thing. I've got it like fully detailed on the inside and on the outside. It's just about ready to go. And by fully detailed, I mean ready for functionality. I don't mean like, oh, I put in signs and chairs that look like signs and people and all that good neat stuff. I mean ready for functionality and for the purpose of what it's intended to do. And yeah, it took forever, and I was doing it basically by myself on a single player map. I got to the end of it and I was like, man, I could have used like MC Edit or something for this, and that's about the time I realized that MC Edit, the current version of MC Edit, is actually an antique version of MC Edit. MC Edit doesn't actually work anymore with Minecraft past 1.25. It has long since been abandoned by its original developer, but it was picked up by somebody else who hasn't really touched it in a while. They haven't gone and done anything with it. I think it's open source, but there's so few people actually working on the project, especially when there's other things like World Edit and Voxel Sniper that you can use to accomplish the same effects without having to go into an external program. But I was attempting to use MC Edit to copy this structure over into a different world. I realized at that time that MC Edit does no longer work, and I was like, oh dear. Spent all this time, days and days and days, building this very nice looking structure. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. If I do say so myself, be a little biased, but it's pretty sweet. And I get to the end of it, I'm like, I can't copy this over with MC Edit to the world that I wanted it. No, I'd like Darth Vadered at the end of episode 3 on that one. I was so upset. So then I had to load up that world, edit around the configuration so I could be creative mode. I didn't feel like downloading a mod for that. Changed that, put that in there, and now it's in there, but it's not refinalized. And it's still the same basic structure. It's just slight different dimensions because I had to incorporate it into a different position than what I originally intended to, just because I was clearing everything by hand. And that takes forever. Just clearing everything by hand, unless you're playing survival, it's so dull, so boring, and my god, this water flow, so punishing. There we go. I have plenty of skeleton parts. Oh, I've only got 2 bones. That's not that cool. This mine just kind of goes on and on, eh? I have no idea where I am even. That's really probably the worst part of this, is that I'm just kind of running on. I'm like, oh yeah, there's stuff over here to kill, and there's stuff over there to kill, and let's go over here, and I'm talking, and in the meantime, I'm pretty far away from where I was. And I've been ignoring ores like coal, so much coal. There's copious amounts of coal down here. Little known fact, well, it's widely known, but a lot of people don't know this, but coal is actually plants. It's decompressed and, or no, well, no, that's not entirely true. Suppose I should quit trying to seem smart before I derp. Charcoal is made of plants. Charcoal is usually found like under places that were swamps, places where a lot of dead, decaying material were formed and eventually just kind of flattened and compressed down into a like a carbon silicate. Whereas your coal is actually a mineral, but it possesses a lot of similar properties. It's just an exceptionally high carbon mineral. Most of the life on Earth is carbon-based life form, so I suppose if you like packed an elevator with 2,000 people, a single elevator shaft, and then like stuck them under extremely high pressure for a few thousand years, you could open the elevator shaft and find an extremely large lump of coal in there. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but I suppose you could. And there went that pick. Another iron pick. Once this pick goes, we're going to retreat to the surface, just because I am starting to get in pretty deep here. I have explored a lot of this place. I haven't explored everything, obviously, but I'm skipping a lot of like ores. Like, hey, I missed iron. Oh my god, I missed coal. Oh my god, I missed 2 spiders. 2 spiders, okay. So those guys came from up top here? Okay, yeah, these were those two spiders in here that I ignored before I went off to the left here. To be honest, I'm pretty certain it's going to take me a minute to find my way back out of here. I have no idea which way I went. Just kind of rambling and running in circles and all this good neat stuff. Yeah, this is dead end. I can tell once I hit this step. That's something you can always notice with certain dead ends, unless there's like a tiny little hole that connects to the next area, but they always seem to get really tight right there, maybe like a turn or two before it finishes. I always seem to notice that. Let's go. This way was the 5 creeper room. I came from down below here. So, kind of bring out a little bit of vision to here. Just go boom, boom. There we go. Got cobble, got lava. Not entirely sure if I remember where the chasm was, because there was that really big chasm, and I want to be able to find my way back to that. I should mark off the path going to the chasm better. Otherwise, I might not be able to recover it, or might not be able to find it again. And then I will surely look like a Durbanstein. This is the chasm the tunnel to the chasm. Very nice, because I also want to go up there and explore that. I believe that you can still only get melon seeds out of dungeons and the abandoned mine shafts, and that's kind of what I would like to go for. I want to be able to, once I start doing a farm, be able to get all the essentials, the goodies, the wheats, the grass, the flowers, the pumpkins, the melons, anything that you can consume and use like that. Gotta have it. Grass, just because it's grass, it kind of fills in a space, makes things look a little bit more 3D. Makes it look a little more 3D, which, I mean, granted, in a game of cubes, everything is relatively 3D. Also, that's a good poll. Do you guys actually have the capacity to render as 3D on your PCs, watch movies on YouTube in 3D, or have like 3D glasses like red cyan glasses, or the stereoscopic glasses like you could find from like Sony or Panasonic? Because I actually have a graphics card here that's capable of rendering in 3D. I mean, I'm running Fraps right now, and I have my frame rates limited to Fraps' speed setting, which is 29.97. For some reason, that was the recommended amount for YouTube videos, so I'm like, okay, 30 frames per second, that sounds fine. But I do have the capacity to record in 3D, so if you guys were interested in watching videos in 3D, I could potentially provide that option. I can record things like, I don't know what all I have that goes in 3D, let's see. I kind of want to go down here too. Oh, lava layer. Okay, and it looks like up above goes to an area I've already been as well. I do have the capacity to render in 3D. Minecraft in 3D kind of looks weird, but it works. It works. I can do... Oh, lag spike. I can do things like Deus Ex Human Revolution in 3D. I can render... Heck, if I still played WoW, I actually figured out a method to render WoW in 3D back in the day. And I didn't have a graphics card that supported it at the time, but I do now, and it actually, I remember playing a Resurrection Scroll, and it worked fine, and I was like, well, why don't I play on 3D on more games? I think really the issue is not too many games are fully compatible with 3D, but you can force render a 3D image by anything that can basically adjust the frame of view, or field of view. And I've forced other games like Super Meat Boy into 3D, and it looked neat for what it was, considering it's like based on a Flash game. It looked pretty neat as 3D, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. I didn't know I could even do this, but it's it's really strenuous on the graphics card. I do have a pretty good graphics card. I'm running a NVIDIA GeForce 560 Ti overclocked. I don't remember what I have it overclocked to. I know the fan is running at like 20% capacity at all times, and it doesn't have a problem with heat at all. The only thing I do have a problem with heat on my PC is my processor occasionally gets hot. Occasionally, I do have that overclocked too, but I'm only using a stock fan, which is not really the best option for overclocking. I have case fans to help balance that out, but things like the auxiliary, which always reads hot, get even hotter if I'm doing something really stupid like rendering 4 videos at once in HD. That starts taking a toll. I was doing that day before yesterday, and it seemed to make everything take about 4 times longer, so at the end of it I didn't really save any time. I didn't. Look, it's lapis. That blue dust. And, there's my base. Cleaning out the iron on this side. How many iron am I? Oh, that's nice. So nice. I've got plenty. I could start making iron bricks. So much iron on hand. I could be able to start incorporating things like iron bars into structures. That's gonna be cool. I don't even know how long I've been recording right now. I'm still just like, oh, I'm gonna keep going until my pick breaks. But you know, I'm getting close to my my base again. I think we might be getting closer to the end. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I kind of just wing these episodes most of the time, just because I'm like, well, I'm gonna get distracted and I'm gonna start doing something else anyway. It's inevitable. So is everyone enjoying the episodes? Everyone enjoying the episodes right now? I've been trying to keep fairly standard in terms of how frequently I'm uploading. I'm trying to do it at least 2 uploads a day. Trying to shoot for 3. Yesterday was a little stressful. I actually just found out that I've got jury duty in a state I no longer live in that I thought I was unregistered from, but it's the first time I've been called for jury duty in said state. And it's gonna be special. I can't exactly just hop over the state border and go back to them to do jury duty. I'm like 700 miles away. I don't have the money to go and participate in their jury duty. It's not a feasible thing for me. So I've got to get a hold of them. I'm recording this, and this is a Saturday. They're not open on Saturday, of course. Of course, you know, it'd be too convenient that they'd be able to answer my concerns this second. But you know, that's life. That's what happens. And so I think I've pretty well cleared out a lot of this area. I've still got plenty of gravel hanging around that really don't need. But it's not hurting anything. I'd end up only using it either for roadways or not using it at all. I guess I could use it right here to get upstairs, so I don't have to burn my pickaxe. Hello! We have a whole new tunnel up here. Let's see where this goes. Is that mine? Oh my god, spawner. Okay. Looks like that spawner is actually nearly entirely engulfed in, oh my god. There was a creeper in there, and it looks like one of the skeletons shot the creeper, and the creeper exploded. Alright, I'm just gonna kind of Rambo this, because, you know, you only live once. I kind of know where this is. And that is how you clear a spawner. Zombie spawner. Very nice. Zombies are a little less wanted for me than, say, like a skeleton spawner or a spider spawner. Skeletons, I can farm them for arrows. Spiders, I can farm for string and eyes. Zombies, he's farmed for zombie flesh. Ooh, cocoa beans. Ooh, wheat. Ooh, piece of candy. I can make cookies. It's a shame this is like the only place you can actually find things like cocoa beans. Otherwise it would be a more viable method of making cookies. Right, let's get this bit of iron up here. I'm gonna leave the spawner for now. This is almost a little bit of a treat. I wasn't exactly expecting to find a spawner, but now that we have a spawner, I'm going to retract everything I said earlier about the spawners being a little less desirable based on having something that drops them to kill them and get the experience, because this is actually not too far off in distance directly over my base. I could be able to just have these guys slide over with a water conveyor belt, drop down, and then I could punch the crap out of them and be able to go ahead and collect all their precious experience and their flesh. Which the flesh is probably not what I should be hoping to collect from them, but it's an option, okay? It's an option. This is cool. This is cool. I was not expecting this. So we'll take the chests. We'll take the gold. We'll take the good. We'll take the bad. And there you have the facts of life. The facts of life. I think this area is well lit enough that they're not going to spawn on me. Probably should also do a little bit of research to make sure I know exactly what I'm building for this. I kind of have an idea. I think I know what I'm doing. I want to make sure. So, with this last bit of coal and this last little... Ow! This last little bit of iron that I didn't successfully collect because I careened off a cliff. This last little bit of iron right up here, somewhere there. There it is. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it an episode. I'm going to get these guys smelting. Probably start up the next episode once they're done smelting. Not going to do anything between now and then, just to keep everything nice and up to speed. So yeah, this has been cool. I was not expecting a skeleton spawner, a zombie spawner, upstairs, and we have a slime in the base. Very cool. Dies with a single sword chop. I drop anything down here, just gravel. It's okay. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching. This has been Mack9. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to see more videos like this. Again, I'm going to try and keep posting videos on a daily basis, kind of looking to branch out to maybe a few other game titles. Let me know what you think, guys. See ya.